Good evening, Mask enjoyers. I had right, 'cause it's time for the predictions video. Yes, just several hours ago, all of these skins rotated into Rustor for the final Rustor of July 2024. And basically, in this video, we're going to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment for this week, which of these skins might help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So sit back, relax. I'm going to start yapping. Right, so by default, again, based on what I've said over the past month or so, I will not be surprised in the slightest if all of these skins do end up going below their Rustor price over the course of the next few months. Just to remind you of last year, what did we see? Well, during the likes of the summer of last year, we had average player counts in 90,000. Very cool. But inevitably, during the likes of September, October, November, the autumn-fall seasonal dip, you're going to see it drop by about a third. The kids go back to school. It's inevitable. It happens every single year. It's a routine thing. But just be aware, all skins are expected to slowly go down in price from here and now. The lowest point is expected to happen around October 2024. And then from there on, it's expected they'll only rise up all the way towards the likes of January 2025. And based on what you can see here, yeah, it's emulating exactly how things played out during last year. So now that you're aware of that, are all of these skins not exactly looking to be super great? No, with a smart buy order, we can still walk away with some fairly decent profits. So looking at all of these skins, what am I feeling most confident in? I'll be brutally honest with you, by default, as a 50-50, I will sit here and say Mob Boss, Boonie hat, and Hide Poncho. I'm saying this in terms of the interest. The amount of purchases we saw with last week's Rustor was absolutely ridiculous. With the likes of the Baguette clothing, that did 27,000 subscribers. That's the absolute bare minimum. At least 27,000 people bought those skins. How many did they buy? Maybe just one pair for themselves, maybe 10, maybe 100, who knows? But we know the absolute bare minimum is 27,000. Now, with this being accepted today, lo and behold, spike in demand, spike in price. Now, this went all the way up to about $7 earlier. Now it's down to 4. More people can list their skins. So don't be surprised if you see the likes of both of these skins go down in price. They had their hype moment, all right? So yes, they did reach a very nice high point, and right now it's still very good. They were selling for $2. They instantly went up to $4, but their highest point was about 7. Anyway, they're in a very solid spot. They're getting a lot more buy orders. They very likely will do much better now in terms of retaining their value and staying at a higher point. Awesome. But what of the Boonie hat and the Hide Poncho? Well, I'm sorry to say, you might not realise this, but the skin creator hasn't actually made anything new since the burlap clothing was accepted. What you don't realise is that the Boonie hat and the Poncho were actually made a week after the burlap clothing a month ago. Yes, these were extra late picks. It's nice to see all of it has been accepted. But where's the new stuff? Well, we've spoken to the skin creator. He seems motivated to keep, continuing it, of course, because, he's getting acceptances. He's making money. Who would have guessed? But what is there to make? Leather gloves? Some sort of shoes? We've made jokes about, all right, maybe like a Tommy gun. Oh, yeah, that's totally fine. But would a gun skin or weapon skin actually help boost all of this? Probably not. So are we going to see more primitive skins, if it's possible? Or are we potentially going to dabble into the likes of, making some hoodie and pants? Making, maybe a jacket? Maybe some armor? We'll see. Would it still boost the likes of these, though? It's a bit debatable, right? So this is why I'm 50-50 on it. I can see it working out quite all right. I can see these selling reasonably, well, 20,000 sales potentially. Again, it's only been a good several hours, so I can't give you a concrete answer as to where this likely might end up at, but I am 50-50. I will not be surprised in the slightest if these do go below their Rustor price. With the likes of the Boonie hat, in the past we have had a few Boonie hats selling at $1.49. The most recent ones, they're both down. Yes, they did have continuations appear after these. They're still down. Awkward. And ponchos, don't even get me started. I mean, just now that only just recently came out and became marketable, we can't treat that one as a nice example. We have to look at all the other ones, and as you can see, oh dear. So yeah, a buy order is the way to go. Both that and that are abnormal. They are going to become marketable at an earlier time, and if you don't fully understand what abnormal skins are, please consider watching my most recent Ruskin Abnormal Barders video for July 25, 2024. Watch the first 5 minutes, skip ahead to the Barders, just look at the description, you'll see all the chapters, you'll get a very good idea as to what abnormals are. Cool, right, so with that said, out of all of these other skins, what's also looking to be a perfectly reasonable thing to consider investing into? Well, by default, I will sit here and say Royal Safari Tier 3. Here's an interesting thing, they are not selling that much. Now, again, that might be down to interest. Okay, that's fine. But with what we saw here today with the Mob Boss clothing, Whilst that's primitive, more primitive skins were accepted. We of course saw the spike in demand, spike in price. When it comes to core pieces, I'm talking about tier 3 armor, tier 2 armor, and of course hoodie and pants. So as long as we see continuations, what happens to pre-existing pieces? Of course, it spikes in demand, spikes in price. So let's just say by the end of the week, next Wednesday, we're looking at these, and they've only done about, let's say, 8,000 subscribers. That is nothing, especially when you compare it to the likes of all of the skins that you see here from the past year. And, well, at the current rate, it really doesn't look like this is selling that much. I'm feeling somewhat reasonably confident that this might be fairly interesting. Now, what's the smart way to go about this? We've got to keep an eye on the workshop. We've got to see what the skin creators produce next. And I'm pretty confident both of these guys are going to be putting out something pretty quick. Tier 2, hoodie and pants, even boots and gloves. It doesn't matter. So as long as we see it being submitted, we can anticipate the potential that it gets accepted, and we see that spike in demand, spike in price in the future. So yeah, by default, we expect continuations. Now you might sit there and say, but what happens to the Commando stuff? Didn't you say that was supposed to get a continuation fairly soon? Well, here's the funny thing. That skin creator went on vacation. 2 days later, that gets accepted. So he's only just recently come back. You're also going to see Commando continuation soon. So just want to point that out. Hopefully they don't conflict. Right, so by default, nice things can happen. Keep an eye on the sales. Both of these skins are abnormal. We can use that to our advantage. Next Wednesday night, I'm going to be streaming. We're going to look at the skins, we're going to look at the sales, and we're going to make a decision as to how we're going to approach these. All right? So look in the description of my video right now. You'll see the links to my socials. You'll see my Twitch link. Feel free to hop in, and we'll see how we go approach that. Again, very likely going to be a smart buy order. That's the smarter way to approach this. Cool, right. Anything else that's looking reasonably okay? I guess I can bring up the garage doors, but it's very weird. What are you going to use these for? You can go watch my rust door rotation video where I give this a much better look. I look at it in game. Okay, very straightforward. It's another extension to the likes of the neon collection that Duck has with the likes of the lockers, the small boxes, and of course the large boxes. Very nice, very cool. But, okay. I saw some interesting suggestions, such as people who have set up like a new base and people don't know their way around the base. They might need help going up and down. You get the idea. Honestly, isn't this just going to help people raid you? So if you have a good idea in regards to how the likes of a up or down garage door could be utilized in a base, feel free to tell me, message me, comment below. That's what I'm asking for, because it's a bit odd. However, by default, it's part of the Neon collection. Will it work out potentially in the future regardless? Maybe. But when you question the amount of garage doors that we get accepted every single year, just know there will be more this year, of course. And of course, we have a Twitch drop right there, FancyOrb garage door. That's being given away for free. Would you want to buy these or get that for free? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure people are still going to buy these, but you get the idea, you get the idea. Now, again, maybe we'll see a continuation. Are we going to get left and right? Who knows? We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what Duck is up to, because most recently his most recent submission was not even a neon skin. He made an elastic band python. Keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend, and we'll get a good idea of what potentially he makes next. And then we'll feel reasonably confident in regards to how to approach those skins, of course, next week. Wednesday night, again, both of those skins are abnormal. We can use that time to our advantage. Chances are, again, I'm probably just going to stick with doing a buy order. If you have questioned the likes of those lockers, because of course, we don't have any more lockers anymore, do we? I did make a video dedicated to talking about these, so if I could just quickly hop over to here. Oh, sorry. Please consider giving that video a good watch. It's 10 minutes long. I go over pretty much all the details that I can. Basically, do not be surprised that those go below the rust door price. Even though the first two did work out ever so nicely, from here on now, how low can they go? My suggestion is about $1.50, but I do make a nice little comparison to like the From Hell locker from last year to get a good idea of how they're going to behave, for like the next year or so. So give it a good watch. It should help you out. Cool. Right then. So with the remaining skins, am I feeling okay with these? I will give a bit of credit to the Sleeping Baguette. Now, will this go below its rust door price? Yes. Will it potentially work out ever so nicely in the future? I think it will. So I brought this up earlier in the rust door rotation video when I was streaming. Look at last year. You might remember we had the likes of the burrito bag and the fry sleeping bag. Okay, so what's so special about these? Well, it's food. It's food. It's silly, funny. But as much as you can sort of sit there and say it, well, people do like them, and they have sold quite nicely, and they have hardly any quantity or hardly any listings on the Steam market. Burrito bag, over the past summer, I mean, it's done quite nicely for itself. It rose up in price very nicely. It peaked a month ago, went back down again, but looks like it's trending back up again. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but if you did a smart buy order and bought in when this was at its cheapest, you would have been able to flip it and maybe make about triple your money. Now, I can't help but assume the Baguette will probably end up like this in about a year's time. So also we had the fries bag, and lo and behold, hardly any listings, and this is sitting here right now at $3.30. But did it ever go below its rush store price? Well, if I quickly go over to here, yeah, initially it did pretty badly, but then it just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And if we hardly see any more listings appear, I mean, it's just only going to keep going up slowly, graciously. So with the likes of the sleeping Baguette, goofy, silly, doesn't glow in the dark, but you know what? I want to sleep in a nice comfy bread. That's just fresh out of the oven, nice and warm. So, okay, you know what? I look at that and I think I probably could pick up a whole bunch of those, maybe for $1, maybe around October time, and I'll just hold on to them, wait until the next summer, and you know what? I can flip them for a fairly decent profit. So we'll talk more about that on Wednesday night, because we want to see how much it sells. At the moment, 4,000 subscribers is quite surprising. Maybe it reaches about 20,000 sales. Maybe we have to question it a bit differently then, but we'll leave it till next week, all right? I'm optimistic, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's instantly going to be all right. I do still believe it will go below its rush store price. Sorry for mumbling there. Right, so that means all that we have left are the weapons. Now, out of the weapons, I look at the Bombshell SAP. I will bring this up. SAP skins over the past summer, as in this summer, take a look at this. They've done quite nicely. Now, recently we had the Ronin SAP, didn't we? That went as low as about, like, negative 25%, down that much. But it's kind of recovered, and guess what? It has hardly any listings. So give this maybe another half a year, that'll probably be back up into the positive. Maybe not by a huge margin, but still perfectly fine to make some profit out of. When I saw that in the rush store about a month ago, I was like, guys, do not be surprised if that goes below its rush store price. Do you know what? We could just probably offer about $1.50. It's doing all right at the moment. Could it still go lower? Well, it's only got 25 listings. I don't imagine this sold too much, and yeah, it only did like 10,500 subscribers. If this probably if it does a fairly decent amount of sales matching up to the likes of this, I could assume the exact same type of behaviour. Yeah, for a while, it probably won't be in a positive, but give it some time, next summer, oh yeah, there you go, it's probably looking like that, Now, yeah, some of these don't look as nice compared to the likes of these, but even then, these were evens, this was actually in a positive at one point. It works out quite nicely. People do happen to like some of the more recent SAPs we've received, and that right there, it's fine for what it is. It's a Bombshell skin. We are guaranteed to see these being accepted every 3 to 4 months. So, yeah, it's cool. Can't complain. So that, I think we're probably going to do like a $1 to $1.50 buy order. If you like it, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support, well, TGG, I guess you could say. But we'll move on to the next thing. So, with the likes of these two skins, by default, I don't really have a lot of faith in AK-47 skins. What? Really? It's not like you don't say that every single week. I know. But look at all of that, and you can see that like hardly any AKs doing all right. So many of them down by about 50%. So many of them down close to around $1. It's unfortunate, but it just keeps happening. You need to be aware of that. However, Mr. Himmick's Deep Sea Monster AK-47 does look very nice, and please consider watching my Rust rotation video to get a much better look with the showcase of it. There are more skins on the way. There was a SAR literally submitted this past weekend. Alright, cool. So, looks nice, looks okay, but like, is it still likely to hold up alright? Probably not. That's my thoughts by default. But if people truly like it and whatnot, alright, maybe it does work out quite alright. But at the current rate of sales, it doesn't seem to be getting that much attention, which is a little bit awkward. By default, that might just be a simple 60 cent to 80 cent buy order. And when I look at the likes of the Ronin LR300, part of the Ronin collection, which is not too bad, but yeah, not exactly doing super great either, it looks very nice. Like, I've got to show some appreciation. That looks really nice. Mr. Bad Trip and Hulk have produced some very nice Ronin skins. I'm just not exactly sure if people are super eager for them. Now, when it comes to LR300s, it's a problem with the weapon itself. Yes, we had a buff like 2 months ago. Doesn't seem to have made that much of a difference. If people don't care enough to use the weapon that much, where's the demand to use skins? And therefore, well, skin prices are going to probably go down, aren't they? So again, it might be a situation where it's like, oh, I'm better off just doing a 60 cent to 80 cent buy order. So both of these are kind of similar, unfortunately. I worry for them, but it's mainly due to the fact that it's the weapon itself. Now, AKs do get used a lot, but in more specifically in that case, there's far too many AK-47 skins. Far too many. We see one practically every week. Whereas with the LR300, problems with the weapon itself. So, very likely 60 cent, 20 cent barter for both of them. However, if you happen to like it, just buy it. Not every single thing has to be an investment. Buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them nice and motivated, keep wanting to put out nice and creative designs in the future. It's as simple as that, all right? I know we look at this with a financial perspective, but support the skin creators. Otherwise, we'll just get pretty dull things every single week. Right then, so I got that all set, that was all said and done. What else do we need to be aware of? Well, of course, next week is going to be the August Force Wipe. Yep, August 1st, we're going to have a Force Wipe with brand new content, potentially, but realistically, I don't think we're going to see much. At best, maybe Redtown Redux, I'm not 100% sure, but do not be surprised if it's just a month with fixes and slight changes and whatnot. It is what it is. But what I will bring up to you is there's been a lot more mentions in regards to the jungle ruins and potentially the jungle biome. So that's currently in the process of being figured out, and let's put it this way. They're in the very early stages of setting this up. This very likely might take maybe another 3 months to finally get finished. As in, you might not see anything jungle related until the end of this year. But they've mentioned the likes of tigers suddenly, after about 44 days, added tiger and panther trophy models. Yeah, so many things referencing jungles. What do you reckon's going to happen? The end of this year, very likely we'll see the introduction of the jungle biome. Funny thing is, there's been no actual mentions of a jungle biome. So we'll see what happens over the course of time, but more realistically, for next week's update, it's probably just going to be some fixes. Maybe Redtown Redux, we'll see. Okay, cool. So we got that nice and said. Is there anything else that needs to be addressed? Well, of course, over the course of this weekend, we're going to have Global Warfare 2. Get a good look at that with all the Twitch drops. Now, just to remind all of you, you can watch anyone streaming Rust on Twitch, and you can get all of these skins. They're all generic drops. You could watch one person for 12 hours. There you go. You got all of them. You could watch me. If you want to watch me, it's up to you. Look in the links look in the description for the links. You'll see the likes of my Twitch link, and I am taking part. I'm going to try and build a huge racetrack and have everybody racing it. Maybe for some scrap. We'll see. But anyway, all of that very nice and available for free. A rock skin, a hammer skin, an armored double door, a large box, a garage door, and of course a pay-to-win M249. If you want to get a much better look at all of those skins, I did do a showcase not too long ago. In about 13 minutes, you get to see everything up close, and it looks very, very nice. So consider giving that a good watch. Now, also on the horizon, it appears we're going to have more Twitch drops in August. Between August 8th to the 18th, more Twitch drops potential on the horizon. Now, if you've been keeping an eye on the workshop recently, you might have noticed a lot of very interesting Twitch drop submissions. It looks like we're getting some sort of special event taking place in August as well. Like, literally 2 weeks just after FancyOrb's event. So, interesting. Keep your eyes open. I think the proper reveal for what that is going to be appearing in the blog post next week. So, yeah, August Force Wipe. You'll see it in the blog post. We'll see who's getting Twitch drops, and we'll see what they look like, potentially. And there's one final thing. With great thanks to the likes of Mr. Protox, you might have seen on his video recently that we are going to get a brand new TC skin, Shockbyte tool cupboard. Please consider giving this a good watch. You have to pay a service. I think the lowest price is $10. It says right there. And Shockbyte is a hosting service. And, well, if with a little promotion here, you can get your own brand new Shockbyte TC skin. Yes, it still costs $10 regardless. So enjoy that. Maybe I'll put a little card appear in the top right corner, and if you click that, you can go to this video. So keep an eye out for what Protox uploads. He's always keeping us up to date with all the interesting new content on the horizon, on staging content. So thank you very much for that, good sir. And of course, consider following him on Twitter as well. And I believe that's it. I went through everything. I have nothing else to point out other than the charity skins on the horizon. Oh, there's still more to go on about. The end of this contest is happening at the end of the next week. So once we roll into August 1st, that's it. It's done. And we've only got 19 skins at the moment. In the future, all of these skins, whoever the winners are, they're going to be Twitch drops in October 2024, when we have Charitable Rust 2024. So consider giving this a good look. I'll link it in the description of this video. Scroll down, take a look and see. And yeah, some of these skins will be Twitch drops on the horizon. Which one will it be? We don't know yet, but we'll wait and see who the winners are. Right, so thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy yourself with the Global Warfare 2 event. And if you want to watch me, thank you very much for that. Cool. Bye.